lose about $600 billion annually to this.
These tariffs have brought in an issue that no one is talking about. And I promise you, if you have any investments in crypto, Bitcoin, real world assets, any investments at all, you need to watch this video and you need to make it go viral, because everyone needs to understand this. This problem is bigger than any of the issues that people are talking about with these tariffs. Bigger than inflation, bigger than stagflation, bigger than growth, bigger than everything. Because if this tariff war promotes this issue, then we're all done for. And America is done for. Listen.
Mr. Chairman, ranking member, it's great to be with you. Before I begin my remarks, it's important to me to lay down some foundational principles that I believe all of us operate on. And I'll just tell you personally, I have great respect for the Chinese people, the Chinese culture, the Chinese history. And I just want to make sure none of this morning is about any of that, but rather a dictatorship that is as hard on their own people as they are on other people. So let me jump in. Today I introduced a bill aimed at increasing pressure on Chinese, the way they address the theft of our IP. IP theft is one of the top issues I hear back about in my district, small businesses to big businesses across the top. And I understand it's estimated that we lose about $600 billion annually to this. So, Mr. Mattis, to what extent is China's IP theft explicitly backed by the government as a state-sponsored initiative? Is it actively pursued by the government as a strategy, or does the government simply turn a blind eye?
What this committee member has brought in as a bill and was really looked under and was gone underneath the radar is the IP bill. There is an issue right now, and there's always been an issue where China has been taking the IP of America, their intellectual property, and what they make and what they produce and what is of value. Now, you may ask me, how much could this possibly be worth? Well, according to the IP Commission, it's worth $10 trillion. Now, what this report goes on to talk about is that progressively throughout the years, the Chinese IP theft has been around the $300 billion mark, slowly ticking up as manufacturing developed. But what it comes on to say, and I can't believe no one else is picking up on this issue, is that as the trade war develops, as the USA starts to move away from the world and pull away from China and sees it as an territory, an enemy to their economic strength, this IP theft is going up. It is estimated that this year alone, because of the tariffs, their IP theft will go up to $3 trillion. I need everyone to understand this, and I'm going to give you a thought experiment here. Currently, the IP of the USA is by far its most valuable asset. iPhone, Microsoft, Tesla, all of these things are super valuable. And the thing is, the theft of this has always been a slight issue, but somewhat still respected to an extent, to be able to maintain the relationship that they've had between each other. Now, as the USA has now deemed China as a full-blown enemy and an economic enemy, and has put in some of the most severe tariffs that any country in the world has ever seen from a power such as the USA, this article goes on to say that this IP connection, this sort of ability for them to respect it, is going to disappear, and it is a weapon that they can utilize at any second. Let me give you this thought experiment. Imagine the Chinese technology company all of a sudden goes, you know what, I'm going to copy Microsoft Windows code to code and sell it for $50 and make it open source. What would that do to Microsoft? You see what DeepSeek did. I am more than certain that there was some configgery going on there. And see what it did to the market. Imagine what they could potentially do or even have already to utilize it in their arsenal if they wanted to. This is a real problem. And I promise you, you're hearing it here first. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know what you think is the real issue here and whether this is an actual issue or it's something that really needs to be looked into because it's being brushed underneath the carpet a little bit. Anyway, I'm Alvarez, a 7-figure crypto investor. Like, follow, share, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace.